Okay, good morning. For those of you I haven't met, my name's Hayley Johnston, and I am the Head of Partnerships for Klaviyo for APJ. I'm 100 days in, couldn't be more excited to be part of today. I love the sense of community, and the more I've heard around the traveling community, what I adore about this bunch of people is just how much you're sharing and supporting each other as we try and navigate this. So I couldn't be more excited to kick today off. Mac?
Likewise, yeah, thanks Hayley. I'm Mac King. I've been in the Shopify space for 13 years now, originally as a Shopify employee, based out of the headquarters in Ottawa. And now I live in Toronto. I'm a co-founder and the CRO of Domaine. And recognize that, you know, Domaine being headquartered in the United States, we're mostly have brand recognition in North America. We also acquired an agency called Code in Europe in June. But what that means is, oops, let's go to next, there we are. Assuming some of the folks in this room might not be familiar with Domaine. So a little bit of a quick intro is that we are purpose-built for ambitious and beloved brands. And our two key platforms are a services company, again, headquartered in the US, focusing mostly on Shopify and Klaviyo. And we work with some of the biggest brands in e-commerce. So some of you might recognize some of these logos. I was worried that these are, you know, very North American-centric. I've heard that Jellycat is popular amongst...
My daughter's obsessed.
Okay, yeah, good. So yeah, and we've become known for working with a lot of the verticals that Shopify and Klaviyo have really become known for: fashion, beauty, home goods, etc. This shows a little bit of where we're located, right? Headquartered in New York. I'm in Toronto. We have folks in the Netherlands. You'll notice that there's no star in Asia or Australia. And so, you know, part of the reason that I'm here this week is that we're interested in this market and what it looks like for us and what our growth potential is here in Asia Pacific. I'm about to hand it over to Hayley, but wanted to set the foundation a little bit. You know, here's some real quotes that we've heard from clients and prospects over the last, 3 to 4 months. You know, one of them is, hey, one of your competitors said this costs half as much as it did a year ago because of AI. Are you getting similar results? And how does that affect my estimate? That's a nightmare. Another one, we vibe coded our own Shopify theme, but it's not production ready. Can you debug and publish it for us? Again, this is challenging stuff. And lastly, just move faster. You know, we're hearing that from our clients across the board. So every agency owner in this room is being presented with these questions. And the question is, do we have a real answer for it?
Awesome, thank you, Matt. And look, the intent of today is to be a piece of collaboration and to share you to how Klaviyo and our partners are thinking what the future looks like. And the reality is, it's a bit of a wild time at the moment. It's a world where we're managing tariffs going sideways, geopolitical pressures that are completely affecting supply chain. Domestically, we're dealing with inflation. That's having impact on all of your clients' margin. So I don't want to stand up here and pretend that this isn't the reality that we're living in. It is a wild time. But I've spent the last 100 days, even in my previous life, spending a lot of times listening to brands, listening to customers, trying to understand what it is that they need. And we're all feeling it. We're feeling it in pipeline conversations. We're feeling the inspection in our invoices, line by line by line. So yes, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of scrutiny, and I don't want to pretend otherwise. But actually what I want to talk about is the opportunity that is in front of us. This is an evolution. It is a transformation, and frankly, an amazing time and an amazing opportunity in front of all of us. And I think those that invest in this moment will see lasting advantage from that investment. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of anxiety around AI. And some of us have been joking, how many times can the word AI be said today, almost like buzzword bingo. But it's important for us to take a moment and reflect, and also see this as the huge potential and opportunity in front of us. So here's the reality. AI capabilities are growing at a speed that honestly I've never seen in my career. I'm sure many in the room would feel the same way. But it's moving at a pace that's just unlike anything else I've seen. It's not just the pace of technology that's changing, it's the speed in which the market is recalibrating around that speed of technology. And what I think is interesting and genuinely gets lost in the noise is the potential in which the market is thinking through this recalibration presents a huge opportunity for us to all lean in and make the most of that. So whilst I'm hearing from all of the agencies I speak to, we had our Asia Partner Day for Klaviyo 3 weeks ago, I am hearing the pressure on agency services. Clients are questioning what they're paying for. They're seeing the demand for those traditional outputs, the hands-on keys type of work, that's starting to compress. And we're also seeing brands look to their relationships with agencies differently, not with lesser value, not necessarily with lesser impact, but just different expectations. And that's a consistent evolution. This is a game we have played before. This evolution in our industry is nothing new. We've adapted many times. And this is why I want to put a specific challenge to those in the room today. So you've all had your coffee, I hope. If not, you've got one in front of you. So I'm going to start with a little bit of participation in the room. So question, how many of you are integrating AI into the way you actually deliver your services, your operations, your workflows, how you produce work internally? Can I get a show of hands as to who's already doing that? Yeah, not a lot of surprises with the show of hands. And that's most of the room, right? Maybe not all of it, but there's no surprises there. And I'm consistently hearing from agencies, Mac, we're all in. We're in on this AI thing. We're here to do this. And it's making huge savings, just in time, just in output, just in impact. But that's a margin play. That's table stakes. That's about optimizing your headcount, delivering faster, absorbing some of the cost pressures that we're feeling. And it's what's needed to stay competitive. The second question I have is how many of you are actually selling AI as a client-facing service, packaging it up, pricing for it, and charging separate to your delivery model? How many are doing that today? Show of hands. Well, I'm not as surprised on that one because Australians are an incredibly progressive bunch, but it's definitely a lot less hands than we saw before. And that gap between those two pieces, that's the opportunity that I would like you all to leave with today, a much deeper understanding. Because AI in operations, AI in the way you work, that is the survival game. But if you're not thinking about it differently as client-facing services, and this is where Mac and Domaine will bring that vision to life, that's the growth play. And I genuinely believe that you'll all catch up if that's not necessarily in your operations today, but those that invest in that piece, they won't just survive, they will thrive. Those that aren't so quick to adopt, you'll be okay, but you'll probably plateau and have missed the amazing opportunity in front of us. And the other side of it is there is this huge AI hype. It's a bubble that will burst. Every vendor is talking about it though. And it's the people in this room that actually have the opportunity to be the trusted advisor, the steward, the individual that can take all the noise and guide their clients through that transition. That is your job and you are best placed to do that. No one knows your clients as well as you do. So a couple of fun facts. As I mentioned, I spend a lot of time getting to know our partners, what's important to them. I'm spending equally as much time trying to understand our brands and what they need from their partners, their market, and the tech. And I'm bringing all of that information back to our product team, back to our programs team, so that we can have as much impact. And what's really fascinating for me about some of these points of data, 72% of enterprises are already using AI agents for customer support and operations. We've all seen that. 1 in 3 e-commerce brands have already deployed AI-powered shopping agents, and 20% influenced by AI agents in Cyber Week in 2025. So we're already here. Your brands already are testing and experimenting and exposing themselves to the future of this world. This isn't just theory, it is practical, and the opportunity is executional for us. And so the question is, are you ready? What can we do to support you as you build customer-facing services and turn that experience that you have with your clients into a reality? How are you stewarding these brands through the future of customer service, the future of customer experiencing, bringing their brand's true self to life through agentic technologies? And because brands are already experimenting with it, we know it's true. It's just they're not getting the output that they could because they're missing the opportunity to work with someone like you that understands their brand, who understands their data, who knows their strategy and what it looks like as a customer experience, when to bring the human in the loop, when to have that considered handoff. And without you, that reality is just a black box that struggles to materialize a proper output. That is the opportunity. And those that nail that will continue to not just retain, but grow customers as they expand into different regions across. So this brings me to the opportunity. Sorry. If you think back to the height of COVID, and I was in Melbourne at that time, a little PTSD in that comment, there was more work than any of us knew what to do with. I kind of feel like Oprah when I talk about it. It's like, you can have work, and you can have work, and you can have opportunity. There was so much to go around.
I love that time. That was so good.
It was so much fun.
Great.
You know, we were grappling with a lot of things, but opportunity and work was not it. There was plenty, and it was healthy for everyone. But we're on the other side of that. We've all felt it. And so the demand for traditional agency services, the hands-on keyboard type of work, that's plateaued. It's declining. But on the other side of this chart, the demand for AI-enabled client-facing services, that curve is still rising. And those two lines haven't crossed yet. We're before that point. The opportunity is to get ahead of that, get ahead of what's coming. Brands are coming to you to ask around how do you make that experience true to themselves, true to the desire and the experience that they're trying to create. And we don't actually know how big of opportunity happens when we cross that line yet. I'll give you an example. I'm MC for KCID tomorrow, and I was telling Mac I'm a mum of a 2-year-old, not busy at work, busy at home. And so I had 3 hours to try and find an outfit for tomorrow, and I'm Singapore-based, which for giant blondes, they don't have a huge amount. So I put into the LLM, I've got 3 hours. These are the type of outfits that I've worn at previous keynotes. This is my budget. This is my size. Please prioritise brands that have WhatsApp as a form of communication. And I need them to be in a certain area of Singapore because that's convenient for me. And my dear husband says, off you go, you've got 3 hours. Like, great, thanks, mate. Sure enough, communicated with those brands, Mac, and 3 of the stores had my outfits ready to go. By the 3rd store, I was there. Imagine if that was an AI paid service engagement. Imagine if that could be a curated experience. That demand and that opportunity, we haven't realised yet. We don't know what that true potential could be. And so those two lines haven't crossed. But the premium for those services, the premium for that experience, that's where the opportunity sits in this room. And so that sounds all a little bit doom and gloom. It's not. It's a huge opportunity, and we've been here before. You've been with us when we started with email. We've moved to omni-channel. From omni-channel, we turned into retention. Retention turned into full CRM. Data strategy, AI orchestration. Each time, you've evolved, you've leveled up. This is just simply leveling up in the game. And so the next frontier is agent orchestration. It's AI-powered customer experiences. This is the next chapter in the same evolution. And for that reason, your expertise, this room, matters. It matters the most. So what does this actually look like as a service offering? Oh, sorry, screen's going a bit funny. All good, we'll ad-lib. We think about the evolution of CRM and what comes next, and we think about it in 3 standout pieces. First of all is agent orchestration. That is actually designing, managing the AI layer that sits across the entire customer journey, deciding which triggers trigger what experience and when, and the agent knows what to do and exactly when to escalate and hand off to a human agent. We think about knowledge-based management, and I actually think this is the most underrated piece of the equation. It is critical. An AI agent is only as good as the data it is provided. It is only accurate when you decide the tone and the policies and the strategic handoffs through the journey. And then, of course, custom skills. This ties directly into what we've just launched at Klaviyo, which I'll come to in a second. But together, bringing this into a true customer journey design, that is how Klaviyo supports this journey, and that is how we empower you to drive forward with your client base. That is the thing to be selling. And so we've committed to the platform. We've built the platform that allows you to transform and build your services around this. Most importantly, starting with the data layer, I've had many conversations with people in the room as to why that's so critical, why that's so important. This is the foundation, and it makes everything else possible. On top of that sits our AI layer. It's composable, it is not a black box. And that is so important. Partners shape how it behaves, how it reflects to every single brand. And then custom skills. Custom skills is the clearest example of the entire agent experience. And so when we sit throughout the roundtables today, we will give you the opportunity to see that brought to life. And the result is, quite simply, marketing across services, analytics, personalised at scale. Our job is the platform. Your job is to bring the brand experience to life. And so I want to zoom in just a little bit on service specifically, because this is actually where I'm seeing the biggest opportunity with our partners right now. And Klaviyo Services expands 3 products. Sorry, guys. Customer Hub, Customer Agent, and Help Desk. All of these are driving on-site personalization, agent or AI orchestration, CX design and management. And I'm watching the agencies in the room already launching, already evolving on this, already evolving their services around this. And so that's why I'm so excited to have Mac join me today, because Mac and Domaine represent how a partner is truly bringing this to life. So Mark Fisher unified 6 brands in one platform in 4 weeks, and this was completely partner-led. The challenge here was obvious. It was time crunch and a very, very difficult vision to bring to life. 6 brands, this was high stakes. And we were able to deliver within 4 weeks. We saw 7 million active Klaviyo profiles, Mark Fisher saw 46% year-on-year growth in SMS revenue across their portfolio, and importantly, 20% reduction in time spent on CRM execution. So with that, Mac, why don't you tell us a little bit more about Domaine and how you're bringing that to life?
Yeah, thanks, Haley. Wow, you're such a pro. I was just locked in on that presentation. Yeah, thank you. So I think, like, you know, I was when considering what I wanted to talk about today, you know, like whether we were going to talk more conceptually or more specifically, I thought like the agency owners in the room would probably care most about like actually what we're talking to actual brands and prospects about today in real time as we go. So I'm just going to kind of show you, open the kimono, so to speak, and show you a little bit about how we're talking to prospects in this current era. You know, and so it's, you know, it's a bit of secret time. I think like my recommendation though is take with this what you will and try and make it your own. Create your own angle, create your own technique when it comes to AI selling. So here's where we're seeing AI in e-commerce, right? We've split this into 4 buckets. AI discoverability, how brands and merchants get found using AI search. This is changing consumer behavior and where traffic comes from. Consumer innovation, commerce innovation rather. So not just AI as a chat widget, but how do we build fully AI native commerce experiences in the front end? Operational efficiency, and this is internal, right? This is where most of the people in this room have their hands up. Like, how do we get better, faster, reshape our business, and transform our business model? And then agent orchestration, right? And actually, this has 2 meanings. What Haley just mentioned, right? How you can use agent orchestration within tools like Klaviyo's Customer Hub, for example, or how do you orchestrate agents across all vendors, right? And create a unified hub. And I think that's where the real frontier is coming from, and that's really core to our new AI pitch. So AI discovery, because this is the one that our clients are asking about the most. This was like the tip of the spear, so to speak, when it comes to AI. The behavioral shift is measurable. The question is whether AI discovery matters are settled, right? What's relevant now is which brands are positioned to benefit from it the most. And the mechanism is important. In traditional search, you compete on bid and relevance. In AI-assisted discoverability, you compete on data quality, content authority, and structured information. You can't outbid your way into a Claude or a ChatGPT recommendation. So the playbook is different, and the agencies that figure out the new playbook first are the ones that are going to help their clients capture the first mover advantage. And we think there is a big first mover advantage, right? We're seeing amongst our clients that the people who have decided to focus on AI search optimization or GEO or ACO or, you know, AEO, I don't know, like there's so many different acronyms, but the people who are focusing on it are seeing between a 10 to 20x uplift on the same products as folks who are not focusing on AI search right now. And actually, the reason like this became so important to us, look at these metrics, right? A 33% conversion rate lift from traffic that comes from AI search results, and a 30% AOV lift. This is real data from our client base that are coming from AI search. So material differences for brands. And so we actually, you know, about 1.5 years ago, developed our own SEO function as an agency. We've always incorporated SEO best practices into our design build process, but we decided to go all in on SEO and AI SEO or GEO, again, all the acronyms. But AI traffic isn't just getting bigger, it's better traffic, and the window for the first mover advantage is actually open right now. So again, this is pretty key to our pitch for new brands. Here's what the classic funnel looked like, right? We all know it. Search, click, landing page, conversion, 4 steps, multiple sessions, lots of friction. The new model collapses the top 2 parts of these funnel, and a customer now can go through all the information discovery, top of funnel research, middle funnel comparison, all through a single ChatGPT conversation. By the time they land on the site, they're not browsing, they're ready to buy. That's why we're seeing the conversion and AOV lifts I mentioned in the last slide. The third stage, agentic commerce, is where it gets really interesting. Search, brand recall, and conversion all happening inside the actual LLM. And that's what the customer may never actually visit the brand's website at all. For agencies, this means 2 things. Your client's funnel attribution is about to get really messy. And 2, the work optimizing for the LLM layer, that's where the new service line is. And we think that's like really retainer-worthy work. So we're going pretty hard in this direction. Here's a real stat. Again, this is from our retainer clients and data that we've collated from our 86 active clients on Shopify. 2,675% growth in AI traffic sources to their website since August of 2024. Notice the peak in November. That's Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So the steepest inclines are happening around the most important events for online businesses. That's not a coincidence. When we saw this data, we knew we had to make a serious change to our business model and start delivering AI discoverability. So moving on from AI discoverability, what does the new commerce innovation frontier look like for us, and how are we talking about that to our prospects? A typical enterprise Shopify Plus brand has 40 plus AI systems running at any given time. You know, Shopify Magic, Sidekick, personalization engine like Nasto, or search like Athos Commerce, Klaviyo for the suite of AI functionality, Yupho loyalty, Gojo support. I mean, I could go on, right? There's a lot of different tools that we integrate onto websites. None of them have a shared definition of the customer, though. Klaviyo's profile of customer AI is different from Nasto's, different from Gorgeous. So every AI stack in the stack is making decisions with incomplete information. And that's where the role of the service company comes in. So this is what we're calling the brand intelligence layer. And it's what we're actively pitching to clients. 3 pieces. Products with the full story attached. Every product connected to its campaign narrative, collection context, how to use guidance, ingredients, and brand point of view. And your brand on demand. So this is more on the creative side, right? Your voice, tone, visual standards, communication principles encoded, so AI tools can actually apply them when they're talking to your customers about your own brand. And third, your customer and your data. Aggregating signals from every partner into one unified view that the brand actually owns. This is the first phase of what AI orchestration looks like. And critically, every AI interaction generates information. Today, the information stays with each vendor. But when you switch vendors, the accumulated understanding is lost. The brand intelligence layer means the brand actually gets to keep it. Here's another way that we're talking about AI. This is just kind of an example, right? So we launched our AI commerce accelerator. You know, we branded it and packaged it up. And this was largely in response to prospects coming to us and just kind of not understanding AI at all, that didn't know what to do. You know, where do we get started? We have this budget. We have this. We know we need to focus on this. And so tell us how do we start? And so we'll actually start with an AI readiness audit. Pretty broad, right? And the result of that is like we'll tell them how to get started. You know, here's 4 simple steps on how to use AI better for your tech stack. And yeah, next. Here's an example of Shopify, right? Even within Shopify alone, there's 6 different ways Shopify is pitching AI to customers. Magic, Sidekick, Agentic Storefront, image tools, email AI, store builder. That's 6 different AI products from one platform. And remember, a brand has 40 plus technologies in their stack. So it's the agency's job to interpret all of this data from a single platform, let alone across all of them. Another example is what we're doing with Klaviyo. So what the platform brings, you know, Klaviyo's customer hub provides the unified profile. The AI customer agent provides autonomous execution. What Domaine builds, and we've actually done this with Klaviyo recently in a product called Pixel, is we're building the data architecture, and we're connecting platform to brand, which is the brand agent and the brain, and the integration governance as well. And this is the ongoing intelligence management, which is retainer-worthy compounding value work. And what the brand owns is the brand intelligence layer, the AI accurate execution, a compounding data moat, full data portability, meaning they can bring this own data to any other platform they're using and apply it there. And Klaviyo's AI doesn't draw from generic defaults once Domaine has built this data layer. It draws from the brand's own intelligence that's collated from different vendor platforms. So that's a fundamentally different product outcome. And look at this for a second. The customer journey, discovery, consideration, purchase experience, under each stage are the vendor categories a brand typically uses. Search and recommendation, subscription, etc. Today, each one of these technologies is optimizing for their own slice. So if a brand wants a unified customer experience across all these touch points, someone has to sit above the vendor stack and orchestrate it. Again, I'm kind of making this point again, but that someone is the agency. That's all of the people in this room, right? This is our job now. So, what I find is optimistic for everyone in this room is we are services businesses, right? We're sitting here deciding, talking about AI, having this communication, being here all day, and we can pivot our approach, our team, our business model towards this new frontier. So what I think of the new 4 rules of agency value are, service model moves towards selling the AI integration layer, not implementations, but orchestration. It's actually a fundamentally different way to think about our services companies. 2 AI plays, as we heard from Haley, are running at the same time, margin and growth, and most of the people in this room and elsewhere are focusing on only one. We need to focus on both, operationalize and get more efficient, and deliver AI services publicly and outwardly to clients. And the first movers in AI data compound. Late movers buy their way back in, if they can at all. So there's an urgency to all this. And AI tools are commoditized, right? We all have access to them. Our clients have access to them. Other agencies have access to them. What's not commoditized, and what we all need to do here, is develop our own angle, opinion, our take, our brand intelligence layer, or whatever the version of that is for you, and package it up and sell it to prospects. Haley.
Thanks, Mac. Look, the intention is to present the opportunity for us all to evolve. And I have two asks. Number one is start doing a better job of telling the stories you're already working on. Let's show them off. Let's demonstrate where we are seeing impressive outcomes, where we're leading these clients through the future of their brand in an agentic world. And then the second ask I have is invest in skills, invest in building up your capability. We are here to support you from a Klaviyo standpoint, but as Mac touched on, that's where we actually